Welcome. You're probably wondering why this thing is all rusty. And you're probably thinking, oh god, here we go, another rebuild video. Nope, not today. Today, we are going to do a tire test. And as you can see, I have 11 pages full of tires. Every one of them are 225, 55, 16. Every last one of them. They all have different rims, and they are all a different set of tires. And today, what we're going to do is a tire test. All right. Now, some of these tires are going to look stupid and goofy because of the tire or because of the rim. Doesn't really matter. But the reason for the unrepaired, dirty underside is because it's irrelevant. The car does run. Takes a minute to start. Doesn't matter. All right. So we are in a Nova. And we are going to go to the racetrack. This is my very best time. I don't think it was in this car, or if it was a brand newer one. Or a track tacker, one of the two. But we're going to go around the track. We're going to do some laps. Alright, so that's first set of tires down. Looks like we did a 148. Had a hard time controlling it in the corners. Didn't really want to bite and turn. All that fun, annoying stuff. Now, I'm going to change the tires, and we'll go back and do it again. So I'll be right back. Alright, tires have been changed. We went from vintage C to vintage B. And then we'll come back and we'll do vintage A, and we'll see you there. All right, vintage tires A. Let's go back to the track and do it again. And this time we are going to be using off-road tires. Off-road A and off-road B. Let's go to the track and see how terrible they are, because all right. The next three tires are going to be the standard B, hard to tell the difference other than the rims and a little bit of whatever. And the sport tire will be third on this list. So let's get cracking. As you can see, we already got the standard A on there, and then we'll go. Oh shit! All right, his tires sucked. Good thing the first lap don't count, but the second one does. Well, I do have to say they definitely stuck to the track different. I could feel the ass end wanted to slide out, but it catch, and then the nose would drift a little to follow, which made going through the corners a little more interesting. They didn't push going in, they kind of dove in, but then the ass end wanted to break in, and as it started to get loose, you could feel the nose kind of pushing outward. It made staying in the corners harder. However, it did handle the big, long left hander after the bridge a lot better. I was able to stay more in the throttle instead of rolling through the whole corner. It did give me the best lap time so far at a 140, and closest second to that would have been standard A at 142. And that's also to mention that on the beginning of the second lap, I touched the wall, went off in the dirt, made the second corner, and carried on. So it could have been better than a 140 lap, but that was my best lap. That's what I'm sticking with, and here we go. Now, we are going to try the white letter tires, which are more aesthetic, and they might not be as good as these tires by any means. So let's give it a shot, and we'll go from there. All right, so for this round, we will use Vintage, Vintage B, or Vintage Race B, Vintage Tire, and then Vintage Tire B. These two are going to absolutely suck. These two, these are the aesthetic ones that some people like. I personally prefer these ones. I like the Radial TA. I can care less if it's a Firewheel or a Firestone. But these are next, and then those, and then we'll get into some race tires, some slicks, and then we'll finish off with the red and yellow walls. Here we are back in the garage. We got our radial TAs on that we just got off the track with. And this is impressive because this must have been the car that I set my lap time record with, because we just ran a 138.616. My record is a 134. We are only 4 seconds away from beating our lap time record, and these are shitty tires. Okay, these are not the sticky grippiest tires at all. I will admit, at a 138, they are the best so far. Sport tire came in second at 140. Everything else 142, 144, 146, 153, 148. Yeah. So far we have the best tires on the car so far. So now we're going to vintage race BFG, BF Good Roll, however you want to call it. And we will see how them compare, see if we can shave off another 0.6 of a second, or see how they fare. And we will go from there. I should also mention that this car is not repaired at all. You can see down here in the bottom corner, engine block 29, oil filter questionable, never been checked. A lot of this stuff never been checked. It's whatever it is. It runs, it drives, it does its thing, and I have no idea. I have no idea. It's got a couple. Okay, it's got a nice coil on it. Might have been what I needed when I got it from the auction. But yeah, this car has not been upgraded, improved, rebuilt, none of it. It is how I found it from the junkyard, obviously, minus a couple of parts that I had to replace because they were missing. Outside of that, this car is junk. Now, once we find the best tires on it, if I go and do 100% restoration on this thing, that's going to kill that best lap time, and I'll probably play hell to ever get it again. So that's encouraging. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Let's get back to what we're doing. All right, as you can see, we got the BFG, BF Great Roll, however you want to call it. I don't really care. Ooh, we got performance. No, I didn't even know that. All right, I guess I did a few things to it. Oh, we even got a tuned transmission. Ah. I haven't touched any of that during this whole thing. It's all just as it's been. I was just as shocked to see and remember that I did these myself. So, but anyway, we're still on the same car, just different tires. That is all we are changing is tires. But anyway, let's go see how these do on the track, and then we'll come back and swap some tires and do it again. Okay, well, the VFGs are clearly not as good. I was pushing that sucker hard. It felt good going in, through, and out of the corners. It still did a 138.9. The TAs did a 138.6. Now, there's a small margin of that is the driver, and the rest of that margin is the tires. So let's find out how the XTs do. All right, we are loaded and ready with the XTs. Let's go see how these ones do. All right, well, a few things about these tires. They suck. It does not want to turn in. I had to roll the corners a lot longer than normal. Try to get on the gas coming out, and besides the gear, it still felt like the back end wanted to wiggle loose. It could not handle a medium speed corner or the high speed corners. I had no confidence in them through most of the corners. I was pushing it as hard as I could, and it did not fare too well. However, she still pulled a 146,056, which isn't that good. Literally, yeah, they suck. All right, so let's put the vintage B tires on, non-race, and see how much worse they are than these ones. All right, we got the vintage B, and these kind of have a Mickey Thompson sportsman type look to them, and if they're super wide and pro street, yeah, they look all right for a pro street tire, but since they don't hook up, I'm gonna doubt they're doing it. Plus, we got the Rally Camaro Rally RS style rims on there. So anyway, let's go hit the track and see what we can do with these. Well, to say it bluntly, these are the second or third worst tires in the game. They actually would not turn in, they would not hold the corner, and coming out of the corner, they broke loose. All three very important points of a corner, and not a one of them worked for shit. So these tires are garbage. All right, folks, now it's time to get into some fun tires. Now that we've gone through all these garbage things that, yeah, I think this is probably my favorite of the bunch. They did probably the best. Vintage A would be this one. Yeah, this would have been my favorite so far and the best all around. Decent white letters, good traction, not bad. All right, and that takes care of all of them and all of them. And these we knew 4-wheel drive off road tires were gonna suck. So now let's go with black wall versus white wall and see if $30 makes the traction difference, shall we? Let's go from there. As you can see, we have the Stoner Tech Racer Zero. We shall see how these ones do and go from there. All right, so this is a little bit of a twisted one. We ran a 138 820. The vintage TA is a 138 616. And these, you could definitely tell it wanted to slow down quicker. It wanted to turn in a hurry. It stuck through the corners really decent. It came out of the corners pretty well. It didn't drift and plow like the proverbial snowplow and some of these other tires have. All around, pretty decent tire. However, it was a little twitchier. It wanted to kind of, how you say, when you go to turn in, it almost wanted to be too snappy, like super right away, but not quite. And then when you're rolling through the corners, it was totally fine. And then you get on the gas, and it didn't feel like it wanted to plow. It felt like it wanted to cut even more if you were on the wheel. So it was a little strange. I could have probably pushed it a little harder, maybe, to kind of help counter that a little bit more, kind of add a little more plow in the corners. When I was coming around the long left-hander after the bridge, I thought, let's see if I can hold it wide open and go. And not quite. It was close, but it wanted to push. It didn't want to stay stuck. Part of that may have been my dive-in line. Could have come into the apex a little too soon and pushed outwards way too early, making the exit a lot worse. But all in all, pretty decent tire. Not too bad. I'd give them a, I don't know about a top 5, but a decent tire. Let's start with that. All right. So now we got a set of 4, same exact tires, $30 a piece more, white letters. That's $120 for 4 tires, just for white letters. Let's see what $120 roughly gets you, because clearly when you go to buy tires, it says $330. It depends on what size you get. So let's just say, I mean, they're $30 a piece more. So let's see where that plays into this whole thing, shall we? Well, we clearly have a new best tire at 135,284. Now, I don't know if that's the $30 difference in them, but 3.6 seconds is a hell of a lot. And admittedly, the black walls, I believe I got a wheel in the dirt and had a hard time getting through the corner, but I stuck with it, pushed on, and made it through, and still got a 138. Pretty damn good. So may have to revisit that one. That's that little bit of asterisk, let's say. I'm still gonna say the $30 a tire. You buy white letters, really. I mean, 3.5 seconds. Yeah, comparative, but I know these are not the best tires. So if you're looking for lap time, $30 ain't what you're looking for. This is an aesthetic thing. Let's play with that. Let's swap into some slick tires with and without black letter or white letters and see if those make a difference. All right, so right now we are going to try $600 no lettering versus $660 with lettering and see if $60 makes as much of a difference as $30 did with these ones. And then we're going to throw the whole shot ones in there for shits and giggles and see if we can even drive the thing. Which, yeah, that could be fun, and we're going to find out. So let's go do it. What in the hell? Uh, Would you believe me if I said these tires have like no grip to them whatsoever? I wouldn't believe you either. It looked to me like it caused me to grip roll, which is amazing and fun in itself because that's a challenge. But when you go to turn into a corner and the thing not only wants to turn super quick and cause you to roll over rather than slide just enough to help the cornering at the same time, you need a little bit of slip, just a little bit. And these, yeah, there was no slip, nope. And as you can see, I ran a third lap because I felt like I could get it just a little better. Let's back it down just a hair, give her a little more. Learned kind of how I had to handle these tires, and we still ended up with a 140.418 because I couldn't come out of the big long left swooper. I had issues. Yeah, it was a fun lap, I guess, but it didn't beat the 138s that we got going on, let alone the 135. So let's see how much better the white letter versions are, and then we'll make a judgment from there. All right, folks. Well, the verdict is in. $60 a tire for white letters? Not better. Not better at all. 3 seconds slower, in fact. Yeah, yeah. They grip. They do their thing, but they cause grip roll. If you're going too fast, you ain't hanging on to it. So I'm sure I can get them lap times down into the 138s or so, roughly. But boy, is that on your game to try and control the car with these kind of tires. But no, we're going to go scare the shit out of ourselves with some full shot dragster tires, not only on the rear, but on the front all the way around. So let's go see how messed up that is. All right. These are the whole shot slicks. I don't know if they're any different or better or worse than the Dominators, and we're about to find out. But I can tell you right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to struggle harder than an alligator with his mouth being shut. So let's go find out, see what happens. Well, let me tell you a story about an old man named no, about. Let me tell you how this felt. This was a little bit bizarre. First of all, they handled way better than both of the Dominator slicks, the other ones. They turned in a little different. They handled through the corner better. They came out of the corner nicer. I was able to roll through the throttle better. It still wanted to grip roll, but not as bad. A little touchy. Maybe I've had practice with those other two before these ones, but I was pushing it, man. I mean, pushing it. How far was I pushing it? I was pushing it hard enough to get a new lap time record. 134.279. This is my new lap record, which means if I had the tires I think I had on it when I put that lap time down, oh boy, we may have to run some more of these again. So I'm going to keep these handy because we might fix the car and see how good she gets. I wonder if I can get down into the 129s. That would be impressive with this car. And how much horsepower are we running? 336 horsepower. If it was improved to stock, it would be 361, which is 25 horsepower. Not a big difference, but those tires are pretty nice. But we got to finish the test before we can go monkeying around with any of that. Maybe come back for another episode. We'll do that. If you want to see it, just let me know in the comment. We'll push this sucker to the limit. We'll give it 100% rebuild with no performance parts. See how it does at factory stock. And then we'll do 100% rebuild with performance parts and take it back onto the track and see how much more of a better lap time we can get from there. But like I said, we are going to replace these with some. What is our next set of tires? Okay, so yeah, we've run all three of them. So now we were onto the red and the yellow walls. Now I'm guessing in IndyCar, red is the hard tire, yellow is the soft tire. It could be either direction on this, so we'll have to find out. I've done some red tire testing before, and I want to say these are a little less than these. They're exact same price, so I'm not sure. But that is where we are. We are onto the red and yellows, so give me a minute. I'll be right back. All right, we have the red wall tires on. Let's go see how they fare, and then we will compare them to the yellow ones along with all the tires at once, and let's go from there. Okay, I am going to have to say these feel like hard compound tires. On a normal racing game, it would take them a few laps to wear in before they had the best traction. They would last a little longer. They would wear out a little slower as compared to a soft tire, would have grip pretty quick. You could push that thing super hard, but they would only last so long. In this game, I do not think tire wear matters as much. We could test that with good tires and bad tires of the same type to see roughly, but I'm pretty sure these are hard tires because you could tell in some of the corners, like the long left swoopy after the bridge, I was trying to hold it all the way through there, and it just progressively kept sliding to the outside, and I hit the wall. Or you saw what I did. It didn't work out so well. I had to back it down just a little bit more. Diving into the corner, it felt like it wanted to turn, but it felt delayed, like it wasn't gonna, and then it took a bite and took off and did its thing, but not really quite what I'm used to. So now we are going to try the yellow wall tires, which I am very familiar with. And I'm pretty sure they're a softer tire. It should get a much better deal. And also on this one, we had a much better first lap than we did a second lap, which is crazy. But yeah, we had a much better first lap at 141, which is nowhere near our record of 134. That's 7 seconds. So these tires, not worth the price. I just thought I'd take a second to show you that these are the exact same tread pattern on both tires. They don't look glossier and softer, but you can see we got the yellow walls on the left and the red walls on the right. So let me finish taking this one off and get it swapped, and we'll go see how well they compare. Okay, as you can see, we are on our final run. We got the yellow wall tires here. We're about to go have some fun, and then we will compare all the prices, or yeah, we'll compare the tires and we'll go from there. all right. Well, I managed a 138.4, which is 2.7 seconds better than the red walls, which makes me believe these are softer than the red ones being a harder tire. But these ain't the best tires. That kind of blows me away. The Stoner A and B kind of had the best laps overall with the 138 and the 135. However, the whole shot dragster tires that are supposed to be slicks for the back end gave the best overall lap time period at 134. Yeah, so, I think we're going to have to put the whole shots back on there and see if I can get into the 130, 131, somewhere in there before we go messing with the car. We'll see about that in the next episode. This one's already run on long too long, but now we know the entire options of the tires. These two up here do seem to be, I don't know that $30 is worth it. However, if you can afford the whole shot tires and you're trying to get a lap time, these will be your best bet. However, be warned, if you have too much horsepower and you're way too fast, you will grip roll and you will lose all the track time you can imagine. You'd be better off with the sport tires that are just going to sit and spin and not do anything but donuts, because that's all your 14,000 horsepower is going to do for you. So if you're looking for aesthetics, it doesn't matter what you buy. If you're doing low riders, old cars, whatever, white walls, muscle cars, peon cars, whatever, or actual race cars, you definitely have a little better idea now as to what works. I'm still personally fond of these ones myself over these 138 compared to a 138, 135-ish. I think I could push the car a little harder with the yellow ones than I can with either of these two. They just feel a little more confident in the corner. They have a little bit more slip in the corner without so much traction. They turn in better. They roll through the corner better. They get off the corner better. They don't look better, but in my opinion, they're a better all-around tire, even if they're just shy of the best lap time. And these, you obviously can't beat the lap time, but you would think a dragster tire has a super soft sidewall, not very good for cornering. As I've mentioned, Car Mechanic Simulator does not simulate nothing right, and it sure as hell don't stimulate very well either. So anyway, I am going to run around back with my tire stuff here, take care of some things. And as you can see, we have a pretty nice chart of top tires. And yeah, thanks for letting me test and tune this for you and get that out of the way so you know what you're buying. So till next time, thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Bye! Hey, before you go, I got a question. Does tire width matter? Because you said you're running what? 225, 50, 55, whatever, 16? What if they were like super wide? Would it be like an Indy car and angle the corners better? Well, let me answer the question and we will find out. Because I just went and bought some 520, 45, 16s. And we're going to try these ones. These are Krager's. These are double spokes, whatever. So anyway, give me a second. We're going to swap some tires out. It's going to look stupid as hell, but the game don't care. So we're going to see if tire width makes any difference. And it's actually going to change the tire profile because a 55 here is based on how wide this is. And now that we're going to go with a 50 something that's going to come out to here, this sidewall is probably going to end up way the hell down here. So let's swap them out and see what happens. Just for shits and giggles, would you like to see how much bigger the tires are? This is a shadow of the tire I just took off. And this is the tire we're putting on. It is in your face. It is massive. It is huge. It is going to be wild. And I don't care because we are testing to see if wider is better. And you can tell them are definitely bigger, wider. So I don't know if this is a true test of width because we got the height wrong, but we also get to test if a bigger, taller tire makes it slower, harder to get up to speed, but faster down the speedway, straightaway. We're going to test a whole bunch of theories over one idiotic, stupid looking piece. So let's go hit the track and find out what happens, shall we? All right, so before we even launch, place your bets. Will it be better than a 138? Or will it be worse than a 138.4? Or will it be about the same? Did you place your bet? Hope you win. Okay, I did not see that coming. Wider definitely has more grip, causing a grip roll. Nice. Oh, shit. Well, for all those who said it would be slower, you win. I can't control this thing like that. We're gonna roll it in this corner too. We held it. But yeah, it's not controllable. I think a much shorter sidewall would probably work better. This is funny. All right, I'm gonna pamper it and see if we can get a good lap time. 148.9. Wider? Can't say it's not better. Causes grip roll, gives you some traction. Put it on some slippery piece of shit tires and make it wide like that with a lower profile. I think it might be a good option. We'll have to test that again later. So, anyway, thanks for asking.